Language Foundations Vocabulary Flashcards, helping you achieve understanding.
Baseball. A turn trying to get a hit. He was at bat when it happened. Nocturnal mouse-like mammal with forelimbs modified to form membranous wings and anatomical adaptations for echolocation by which they navigate. Wink briefly. Bat one's eyelids. Beat thoroughly and conclusively in a competition or fight. The club used in playing cricket. A cricket bat has a narrow handle and a broad flat end for hitting. A small racket with a long handle used for playing squash. A club used for hitting a ball in various games. Have a turn at bat. Jones bats first, followed by Martinez. Strike with, or as if with a baseball bat. Bat the ball. Use a bat. Who's batting? Baseball. A turn trying to get a hit. He got 4 hits in 4 at-bats. Nocturnal mouse-like mammal with forelimbs modified to form membranous wings and anatomical adaptations for echolocation by which they navigate. The motion made by flapping up and down. Wink briefly. A disorderly outburst or tumult. Move back and forth very rapidly. Beat rapidly. Move along rapidly and lightly, skim or dart. The act of moving back and forth. Abnormally rapid beating of the auricles of the heart, especially in irregular rhythm, can result in heart block. Flap the wings rapidly or fly with flapping movements. The seagulls fluttered overhead. Informal terms for personal possessions. Did you take all your clobber? Strike violently and repeatedly. She clobbered the man who tried to attack her. Beat thoroughly and conclusively in a competition or fight. Toiletry consisting of any of various substances in the form of a thick liquid that have a soothing and moisturizing effect when applied to the skin. The best people or things in a group. The cream of England's young men were killed in the Great War. Beat thoroughly and conclusively in a competition or fight. Remove from the surface. Skim cream from the surface of milk. Add cream to one's coffee, for example. Make creamy by beating. Put on cream, as on one's face or body. She creams her face every night. The part of milk containing the butterfat. Beat thoroughly and conclusively in a competition or fight. Take up with the tongue. The cub licked the milk from its mother's breast. Touching with the tongue. Pass the tongue over. The dog licked her hand. Boxing. A blow with the fist. Find the solution to a problem or question, or understand the meaning of. A salt deposit that animals regularly lick. Beat thoroughly and conclusively in a competition or fight. We licked the other team on Sunday. Give a thrashing to, beat hard. Beat the seeds out of a grain. Dance the slam dance. Move or stir about violently. The feverish patient thrashed around in his bed. Beat thoroughly and conclusively in a competition or fight. A swimming kick used while treading water. beat so fast that the heart's output starts dropping until it does not manage to pump out blood at all. Move data into and out of core rather than performing useful computation. The system is thrashing again. The club used in playing cricket. A cricket bat has a narrow handle and a broad flat end for hitting. A small racket with a long handle used for playing squash. A small racket with a long handle used for playing squash. Contend against an opponent in a sport, game, or battle. Princeton plays Yale this weekend. Pretend to have certain qualities or state of mind. She plays deaf when the news are bad. Manipulate manually or in one's mind or imagination. She played nervously with her wedding ring. A dramatic work intended for performance by actors on a stage. He wrote several plays but only one was produced on Broadway. The act using a sword, or other weapon, vigorously and skillfully. A weak and tremulous light. The play of light on the water. Gay or light-hearted recreational activity for diversion or amusement. It was all done in play. Activity by children that is guided more by imagination than by fixed rules. Freud believed in the utility of play to a small child. Consider not very seriously. She plays with the thought of moving to Tasmania. Cause to happen or to occur as a consequence. Play a joke. Replay, as a melody. She played the third movement very beautifully. Game. The activity of doing something in an agreed succession. It is still my play. Perform on a stage or theater. She acts in this play. Stake on the outcome of an issue. She played all her money on the dark horse. An attempt to get something. They made a futile play for power. A deliberate coordinated movement requiring dexterity and skill. The runner was out on a play by the shortstop. Engage in recreational activities rather than work. Occupy oneself in a diversion. On weekends I play. Cause to emit recorded audio or video. I'll play you my favorite record. Movement or space for movement. There was too much play in the steering wheel. Behave carelessly or indifferently. The removal of constraints. They gave full play to the artist's talent. Engage in an activity as if it were a game rather than take it seriously. They played games on their opponents. The act of playing for stakes in the hope of winning, including the payment of a price for a chance to win a prize. There was heavy play at the blackjack table. Verbal wit or mockery, often at another's expense but not to be taken seriously. In games or plays or other performances, the time during which play proceeds. Rain stopped play in the fourth inning. Play a role or part. Gielgud played Hamlet. Act or have an effect in a specified way or with a specific effect or outcome. This factor played only a minor part in his decision. A preset plan of action in team sports. The coach drew up the plays for her team. A state in which action is feasible. The ball was still in play. A theatrical performance of a drama. The play lasted 2 hours. Be at play. Be engaged in playful activity. amuse oneself in a way characteristic of children. The kids were playing outside all day. Behave in a certain way. Play safe. Be performed or presented for public viewing. What's playing in the local movie theater? Bet or wager, money. He played $20 on the new horse. Cause to move or operate freely within a bounded space. The engine has a wheel that is playing in a rack. Discharge or direct or be discharged or directed as if in a continuous stream. Play water from a hose. Emit recorded sound. The tape was playing for hours. Employ in a game or in a specific position. They played him on first base. Exhaust by allowing to pull on the line. Play a hooked fish. Make bets. Play the casinos in Trouville. Move or seem to move quickly, lightly, or irregularly. The spotlights played on the politicians. Participate in games or sport. We played hockey all afternoon. Perform music on a musical instrument. He plays the flute. Perform on a certain location. The prodigy played Carnegie Hall at the age of 16. Play on an instrument. The band played all night long. Pretend to be somebody in the framework of a game or playful activity. Let's play like I am mommy. Put a card or piece into play during a game, or act strategically as if in a card game. He is playing his cards close to his chest. Shoot or hit in a particular manner. She played a good backhand last night. Use or move. I had to play my queen. Use to one's advantage. She plays on her client's emotions. Utilization or exercise. The play of the imagination. To break and turn over earth, especially with a plow. Turn the earth in the spring. Twist suddenly so as to sprain. I turned my ankle and couldn't walk for several days. Pass into a condition gradually, take on a specific property or attribute, become. The weather turned nasty. Cause to move around a center so as to show another side of. Turn a page of a book. Undergo a change or development. The water turned into ice. Let something fall or spill from a container. Turn the flour onto a plate. Cause a plastic object, to assume a crooked or angular form. The strong man could turn an iron bar. Undergo a transformation or a change of position or action. We turned from socialism to capitalism. Pass to the other side of. Turn the corner. Have recourse to or make an appeal or request for help or information to. She turned to her relatives for help. Turning or twisting around, in place. A favor for someone. He did me a good turn. Change to the contrary. The tides turned against him. Game. The activity of doing something in an agreed succession. It is my turn. A short performance that is part of a longer program. A circular segment of a curve. Sports. A division during which one team is on the offensive. A time period for working, after which you will be relieved by someone else. A movement in a new direction. The turning of the wind. An unforeseen development. Events suddenly took an awkward turn. The act of changing or reversing the direction of the course. He took a turn to the right. Go sour or spoil. The cream has turned, we have to throw it out. Accomplish by rotating. Turn a somersault. Alter the functioning or setting of. Turn the dial to 10. Become officially 1 year older. She is turning 50 this year. Cause to change or turn into something different. Assume new characteristics. The princess turned the frog into a prince by kissing him. Cause to move along an axis or into a new direction. Turn your face to the wall. Cause to move around or rotate. Turn a key. Change color. In Vermont, the leaves turn early. Change orientation or direction, also in the abstract sense. The mugger turned and fled before I could see his face. Channel one's attention, interest, thought, or attention toward or away from something. The pedophile turned to boys for satisfaction. Direct at someone. She turned a smile on me. Get by buying and selling. The company turned a good profit after a year. Move around an axis or a center. The wheels are turning. Shape by rotating on a lathe or cutting device or a wheel. Turn the legs of the table. Taking a short walk out and back. We took a turn in the park. The act of turning away or in the opposite direction. He made an abrupt turn away from her. To send or let go. They turned away the crowd at the gate of the governor's mansion. Mammals having a placenta. All mammals except monotremes and marsupials. Pertaining to or having or occurring by means of a placenta. All mammals except monotremes and marsupials are placental mammals. Mammals having a placenta. All mammals except monotremes and marsupials. Of or relating to or belonging to the subclass Eutheria. Eutherian mammals. Mammals having a placenta. All mammals except monotremes and marsupials. Mammals having a placenta. All mammals except monotremes and marsupials. Briefly shut the eyes. Briefly shut the eyes. A very short time, as the time it takes the eye to blink or the heart to beat. Keep back by blinking. Gleam or glow intermittently. Briefly shut the eyes. A reflex that closes and opens the eyes rapidly. Closing one eye quickly as a signal. Signal by winking. She winked at him. Keep back by blinking. Blink away tears. Gleam or glow intermittently. Briefly shut the eyes. The TV announcer never seems to blink. A reflex that closes and opens the eyes rapidly. Remove the husks from. Hard outer covering or case of certain organisms such as arthropods and turtles. Come out better in a competition, race, or conflict. The exterior covering of a bird's egg. The housing or outer covering of something. A metal sheathing of uniform thickness, such as the shield attached to an artillery piece to protect the gunners. Use explosives on. The enemy has been shelling us all day. Create by using explosives. A very light, narrow racing boat. Ammunition consisting of a cylindrical metal casing containing an explosive charge and a projectile, fired from a large gun. A rigid covering that envelops an object. The satellite is covered with a smooth shell of ice. Fall out of the pod or husk. The corn shell. Hit the pitches of hard and regularly. He shelled the pitcher for 8 runs in the first inning. Look for and collect shells by the seashore. Remove from its shell or outer covering. Shell the legumes. The hard, largely calcareous covering of a mollusk or a brachiopod. The hard, usually fibrous outer layer of some fruits, especially nuts. The material that forms the hard outer covering of many animals. Temporary love of an adolescent. Come down on or keep down by unjust use of one's authority. Come out better in a competition, race, or conflict. A dense crowd of people. To compress with violence, out of natural shape or condition. Crush an aluminum can. Make ineffective. The act of crushing. Leather that has had its grain pattern accentuated. Humiliate or depress completely. She was crushed by his refusal of her invitation. Crush or bruise. Become injured, broken, or distorted by pressure. The plastic bottle crushed against the wall. Break into small pieces. The car crushed the toy. Come out better in a competition, race, or conflict. Come out better in a competition, race, or conflict. Beat severely with a whip or rod. The children were severely trounced. Censure severely or angrily. Come out better in a competition, race, or conflict. Beat out a rhythm. A regular route for a sentry or policeman. In the old days, a policeman walked a beat and knew all his people by name. Come out better in a competition, race, or conflict. Agassi beat Becker in the tennis championship. Make a rhythmic sound. The drums beat all night. Avoid paying. Beat the subway fare. Move rhythmically. Her heart was beating fast. Be a mystery or bewildering to. This beats me. Wear out completely. I'm beat. Make a sound like a clock or a timer. The grandfather clock beat midnight. The rhythmic contraction and expansion of the arteries with each beat of the heart. He could feel the beat of her heart. Move with a flapping motion. The basic rhythmic unit in a piece of music. The conductor set the beat. Very tired. So beat I could flop down and go to sleep anywhere. Move with or as if with a regular alternating motion. A member of the beat generation. A nonconformist in dress and behavior. prosody, the accent in a metrical foot of verse. Give a beating to. Subject to a beating, either as a punishment or as an act of aggression. Thugs beat him up when he walked down the street late at night. Move with a thrashing motion. The eagle beat its wings and soared high into the sky. Beat through cleverness and wit. I beat the traffic. Stir vigorously. Beat the egg whites. A regular rate of repetition. The cocks raised the beat. A single pulsation of an oscillation produced by adding two waves of different frequencies has a frequency equal to the difference between the two oscillations. A stroke or blow. The signal was 2 beats on the steam pipe. Be superior. Reading beats watching television. Glare or strike with great intensity. The sun was beating down on us. Hit repeatedly. Beat on the door. Indicate by beating, as with the fingers or drumsticks. Make by pounding or trampling. Beat a path through the forest. Produce a rhythm by striking repeatedly. Beat the drum. Sail with much tacking or with difficulty. The boat beat in the strong wind. Shape by beating. Beat swords into plowshares. Strike. A part of one's own body, repeatedly, as in great emotion or in accompaniment to music. Beat one's breast. Strike, water or bushes, repeatedly to rouse animals for hunting. The act of beating to windward, sailing as close as possible to the direction from which the wind is blowing. The sound of stroke or blow. He heard the beat of a drum. Sports equipment used in playing cricket. A sports implement, usually consisting of a handle and an oval frame with a tightly interlaced network of strings, used to strike a ball, or shuttlecock, in various games. Celebrate noisily, often indulging in drinking. Engage in uproarious festivities. The auditory experience of sound that lacks musical quality. Sound that is a disagreeable auditory experience. A sports implement, usually consisting of a handle and an oval frame with a tightly interlaced network of strings, used to strike a ball, or shuttlecock, in various games. An illegal enterprise, such as extortion or fraud or drug peddling or prostitution, carried on for profit. A loud and disturbing noise. Hit a ball with a racket. Make loud and annoying noises.
Become our student and get access to effective and free educational materials. Subscribe to our YouTube channel to become a part of our growing YouTube community and to learn English effectively.